All right, y'all. Welcome back and happy Monday. ACC Media Day started earlier today. I had a chance to listen to Greg Sankey. We might come back and break down some of the highlights of what he had to say. But tomorrow at 1:30, Coach Heupel and our football team will be speaking. Of course, we're going to be keeping y'all covered on this channel. And I want to take a look at some of the preseason rankings because it is that time, right? Really, football season unofficially starts with SEC Media Days. We're also going to be updating you on some 2026 class stuff. As always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's start right here, man, with Darius Gray because he dropped his official top five. We told y'all Tennessee would be in here. Hayes Fawcett pretty much told us that, but this is a good-looking top five. This is a big boy battle, of course. Number one ranked guard in the whole country. Where does Tennessee sit at? I think that we're probably like, in like the bottom three. It sounds like LSU is number one, and then South Carolina is number two. It's been that way for quite some time, but he broke down some of the things that he's looking for in his future program. Says that NIL is not that big of a factor. I don't know how true that actually is. But one of the things that he did point to was sports media. He wants to go to a program that's going to help him with sports media. These are just a few of the, former Tennessee players that are in sports media on a very, very high level. And I can guarantee you, every single one of them will help Darius Gray with networking and, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's what we do here. So I think that this puts Tennessee in a really great spot versus everybody else. Does Clemson have a lot of people in sports media? I don't know of really any. I'm sure that they have some, but it's probably not like Tennessee. Like Peyton Manning pretty much trumps everything. LSU is going to be good at it. South Carolina, I have no idea if they have anybody. I'm sure it's a couple of people. And then those Buckeyes, I don't know. I'm sure that they have some. But Tennessee would probably be, at least with the top three. So that's a checkbox that Tennessee definitely crosses off. Now, let's take a look at some of his clips here, just because, again, man, number one ranked guard in the whole country. I want for y'all to see how his game looks. But some of the other things that he was talking about is he wants to go to a place with a good family vibe. Tennessee has that. I'd say that Tennessee and probably Clemson would be tied for like first place. Really, for me, Tennessee would be number one, but Clemson does a good job with it too. South Carolina, to me, they're kind of phony. You know what I mean? I don't really like Shane Beamer. That's just me personally. I don't know. Obviously, Darius Gray's family feels totally different. So maybe they like the family vibe there. LSU, same thing. Brian Kelly, he's a total fraud to me, but their family obviously feels differently because that's their top two programs. With those Buckeyes, I think that they probably have a pretty good family vibe. Now, for me, just like outside looking in, I'd say that Tennessee, Clemson, like 1A, 1B, and then number two is probably those Buckeyes. But I'd say that Tennessee crosses off at least two boxes with what Darius Gray says that he's looking for. I know that NIL is one that he said, I don't care about it, but Tennessee's going to be on par there too if we really want to land Darius Gray. And then he also wants to go to a championship caliber program. Tennessee definitely has that. So he said either like national championship or conference championship. Tennessee's there. Like Tennessee's either made it to the college football playoffs last season or from 2022 all the way up, right? 2022, 2023, right on the cusp of making it to the college football playoffs. So yeah, Tennessee's in that conversation. South Carolina, you could maybe make the argument that, yeah, they're right on the cusp here recently. Like last year, they were close. This year, they'll probably also be close. What else? So LSU, I mean, Brian Kelly, man, will he even have a job at the end of the season? Darius Gray's not going to choose his program until the end. So yeah, I feel like there is a very big possibility that Tennessee could jump LSU. There's just a lot of things that they don't really cross off, honestly speaking. It would really just be about NIL. I keep on bringing that up because I think that is a bigger factor than what Darius Gray's saying. With those Buckeyes, they won the national championship last season, but they lost their coordinators. So we know that in the regular season, they didn't play that well. They lost two games. They lost to Oregon and they lost to Michigan. Well, after they lost to Michigan, they had a players-only meeting and only Ryan Day came. And I think that that's very telling in, who the players point to say, hey, this is your fault. And typically it is going to be the head ball coach. But I'm just saying this, y'all. Once the regular season ended and once they got into playoff mode, it felt like Ryan Day took a step back and let those coordinators kind of take over. They look like a totally different team. Those coordinators are gone now. So I could very easily see, I could see them having a step back season, right? Like I could see Michigan, Oregon, or Penn State winning that Big Ten. Will they still make it to the college football playoffs? More than likely, yeah, because their schedule is super weak, but I could see them getting put out pretty early. So wanted to say that with them. And who else? Clemson, they played in the ACC, very light schedules, so they'll probably win the ACC. They just won it last year, but then they go to the playoffs and get beat down. I could see the same thing happening this year. I know that there's a lot of hype around their program, but it was like that last year too. That's just how things go. So saying all that just to say that Tennessee crosses off all of those boxes. And I think that at the end of the day, with there being so much time, we can maybe take that step forward. Let me also just say this final thing. South Carolina is one of his top programs because they were on him first. That's typically where Tennessee's at with these players. Tennessee finds these guys first, kind of late to this one, but I think that with all that extra time, Tennessee will be able to make up some ground. So let's take a look at some players that will be picking their programs this week. Both of these guys, it's Tennessee or it's Ole Miss. For Blair, I think that South Carolina is up there too, but the insiders say Tennessee or Ole Miss. Now, Craig Tutt, four-star safety, in-state guy. I've said it for such a long time. I don't see him choosing Tennessee. I think it's going to be Ole Miss. We will see whenever, he's going to be doing his thing on the 17th. But Blair, okay, on the 16th, I still kind of feel like, man, this one could most definitely be Ole Miss. And the main reason that I'm saying it is because he keeps harping on he wants to see the field early. If he's going to be playing tackle, man, that tackle room is young and it's talented. It's pretty deep. Not saying that he won't have the chance to come in and earn a job, but it's not as probably clear, of a path as Ole Miss. Ole Miss is probably pretty like wide open. So that gives them the edge there. He's also in-state player, but I think that his family is military, so he's probably used to moving around and stuff. I don't know. I don't feel great about it. I hope that I'm wrong because I think that he's really good. Now, if he plays at guard, does he have a better chance to maybe see the field early for Tennessee? I'd say yeah. It's not as much like young guard depth, just from what I'm looking at here currently. The staff will sometimes move players to different spots, but it's not that deep there. So he could probably see the field earlier at guard. And again, y'all, I think that maybe he could do it at tackle too, because very, very good. He actually, like, watching this film puts me to mind of like Jesse Perry. You see so much run block and stuff. He looks great. The competition level doesn't look super high, but you're like, man, he's very, very dominant. It's tough to get a real look. But as far as his frame and him being an athlete and the way that he can move his body, I think he's very, very good, very talented. So he could come in and maybe be kind of like a Jesse Perry and really be able to fight for some time. Either way, we have to watch out for both of these players coming up here very, very shortly this week. It's all starting on Wednesday. All right, now let's take a look at these FPI rankings with ESPN. The FPI is basically like power rankings. This is preseason stuff. Y'all can see that this is only SEC. Tennessee would be fifth based off of these power rankings in the SEC, 10th nationally. Is this a good spot for us? I think that it definitely is. This is fair. It's going to be a lot of kind of like people doubting Tennessee because of the quarterback situation. That's a big deal. But what folks don't understand is that Tennessee is switching up some things within our scheme, maybe running some more pistol and all of that. Well, Joey Aguilar ran a ton of pistol at his previous school. So I think that he's going to be very acclimated to doing what we're going to be doing this year. And then also Tennessee's just like regular system. It's not that complicated. It's pretty simple to, get that figured out. And I think that he has the tools necessary to be able to operate it. It's all about, can he just take care of the football? If it ends up being him, it could also be Merck. And obviously Merck has spent a lot of time in this system, so he's going to know it well. Maybe not as well versed with the like pistol stuff, but he had all of the off season to figure that out. It's not rocket science, y'all. It's just all about, can these guys execute and can they lead this team? I think that we've got at least two guys there that can definitely do it. GMAC would be kind of like that dark horse, but Tennessee's defense is always going to be there. Tennessee's run game is always going to be there. So championship teams are typically built off of a very strong defense and a very strong running game. It's just, again, about what does the quarterback look like? And I think that we will be fine. So call me a homer, but that's just based off of all the film that I've been watching. But so, y'all can see where some of the other teams rank at. Let's also take a look at the strength of schedules, because I've talked a lot about Tennessee's strength of schedule being really, really low. And they have us right here at number 14. Again, this is just preseason stuff. I think that whenever it's all said and done, Tennessee could very easily have the, overall weakest strength of schedule. What this tells me is that Tennessee should have a pretty good record, right? If it's similar to what it was last year, making it to the college football playoffs, where, if you're one of these Power 4 programs and you have a good record, then you're going to make it to the college football playoffs. Now, something that Greg Sankey did speak on was he wants to see a different, like, strength of record metric that could maybe hurt Tennessee this season. We're going to have to win at least one of those big three, whether that's versus Georgia or Florida or Alabama. I think that we have to win one and then win all of the other games. If we do that, then we will make it to the college football playoffs. That'll help us land all the guys that we want to land for this 2026 class in 2027, 2028, so on and so forth, and just kind of like keep us rolling. But yeah, I think that this is interesting. They still have Florida with the number 1 ranked strength of schedule, which makes sense to me. They've got an absolute gauntlet. We get them towards the end of the year. They'll be more beat up. I don't want people injured, but do you want them kind of banged up? Maybe kind of like limping into the game? Of course, that's something that you definitely want to do. So, I think that it helps us out. Oklahoma, same thing. We play them kind of like in the middle of the year, but tough schedule for them, so they could be kind of beat up. And I could really see also, facing Georgia early. That's a positive thing. Georgia really doesn't get rolling until like the end of the year. It's been a long time. I don't know if we've ever really played them early, not since I've been living, but playing them early could also benefit Tennessee, especially playing them at home. So yeah, this is a schedule that's very, very manageable, and I think that Tennessee's going to be fine. That there's a lot of experts that are sleeping on us, and that's how it was last season. P and I always talk about it. How many folks picked Tennessee preseason last year to make it to the college football playoffs? Was not very many. You could probably count on like 3 fingers all the people who were picking us. Now let's talk about Phil Steele. A lot of folks like to see his preseason rankings and all that good stuff. So we'll scroll on down so that y'all can see where everyone is ranked at. If y'all need to pause it, y'all can pause it and take a closer look. But he's actually got Tennessee sitting right here at number 8. He has us 20th nationally. I think that this is also maybe fair. Just because the quarterback situation, I'm not even 100% sure how it's going to look. Obviously, I haven't got to see the players play just yet, but we'll know within like the next couple of weeks. Once we get into fall camp, everything's going to start to pan out. But Coach Heupel, he can coach. I think that he's got maybe like a chip on his shoulder this season. He might want to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to show everybody. I think that the whole team has that vibe. So that's a very, very positive thing. And I will just keep on scrolling through and show y'all, because I know some of y'all might have OCD kind of like me, where you want to see, the rest of this list. So we'll just scroll through, let y'all see that. But that's going to do it, y'all. Please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll probably be coming back later on today. If not today, then for sure tomorrow. Y'all can also catch us on Patreon, patreon.com/Bluechip Breakdown, because I will have some more thoughts that I'm going to be letting out over there, and y'all can join us for free. All right, so we'll be seeing y'all later on. Thanks, peace. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.